I never imagined my entire world would shift during one quiet night shift. Hospitals usually follow a rhythm, machines humming, distant coughs, and shoes squeaking on polished floors. It was a routine I had mastered. My name's Lauren, and I've been a nurse for over 11 years. I've worked in trauma, med-surg, and recovery. I'm the dependable one, the one other nurses call when something starts going sideways. But inside, I was running on empty. I was 36 and had been married to Kyle for nearly 9 years. We were the kind of couple people called comfortable, which really meant we'd grown apart but didn't have the heart to say it. We lived in the same house, slept in the same bed, and somehow still felt 1,000 miles apart. There were no more unexpected kisses, no hand brushes across the kitchen counter, no whispered compliments that made me blush. There were only bills, schedules, and silence. I wasn't unhappy in a dramatic way. I was just numb. So when they wheeled him in that Thursday night, I barely looked up. Patient from a motorcycle accident, post-op, minor shoulder repair. Room 412. I checked his chart, Aaron Walker. 38, ex-military, fit, no complications expected. I walked into the room and went through the motions, checking vitals, adjusting monitors, and making sure he was stable. His eyes followed me the entire time, calm but alert, like he was trying to read who I was beneath the scrubs. "You always look this serious?" he asked, breaking the silence with a low voice. I blinked, caught off guard. "Only when my patients don't follow traffic laws." He laughed, a rich, deep laugh that made me pause for just a second. "Fair enough," he replied. "But you've got a nice smile. You should let it out more often." That comment stayed with me longer than it should have. I told myself it was just harmless charm. Some patients flirt out of boredom. I'd seen it before, but with Aaron, it felt different. He didn't say it to amuse himself. He meant it. Over the next few days, I found myself drifting toward room 412 more often than I should have. I told myself it was just to double-check his range of motion or follow up on pain meds. But deep down, I knew I wanted to see him. There was something about the way he listened when I talked, how he asked about my life, how he remembered my answers. "You've got kids?" he asked one evening as I changed the dressing on his shoulder. I shook my head. "No, Kyle and I never quite made it there." He studied me quietly. "You sound like you're still deciding if that's a good thing or a bad thing." I glanced at him, surprised by how accurate that was. Maybe I am. It was after midnight one evening when I walked in to find him awake, staring at the ceiling. The hallway lights cast a soft orange glow through the blinds. "Can't sleep?" I asked. He turned toward me, his voice soft. "Not when I know you're out there walking these halls." I didn't laugh. I didn't roll my eyes. I just stood there, heart fluttering in a way I hadn't felt in years. "You don't even know me," I said. "I know enough. I know you're gentle when you don't need to be. I know you pause for a breath before you lie. I know you have pain you keep hidden in your back pocket, like a folded note you never read." That hit me deeper than I expected. My throat tightened. I sat down on the chair beside his bed, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I had to wear a mask. "Doesn't sound like you're just here to recover," I whispered. "I'm here to find something I thought I lost," he replied. I didn't ask what he meant. I think I already knew. He reached out his hand, and I let mine fall into it. The touch was simple, no heat or urgency, just real. I could feel how steady he was, how present, how aware, and that terrified me, because I wasn't supposed to feel anything. "I should go," I said after a moment. "You don't have to." But I did. I walked out of the room, trying not to let my hands shake. The next day, I avoided him. I asked another nurse to cover room 412. During the first part of my shift, I told myself I was just being professional, but the truth, I was afraid of how badly I wanted him to look at me that way again. Later that night, I gave in. I returned to his room just after midnight. The light was dimmed, the air still. "You came back," he said. "I shouldn't have. But you did." This time, I didn't sit in the chair. I sat on the edge of the bed, and he moved over slightly, making room for me. My hand brushed his again, and before I could stop myself, I leaned in. His lips met mine in the softest kiss. No pressure, no intent to take it further, just a question and my answer. It was the kind of kiss that reminded you who you used to be before life became a checklist. When we pulled apart, he looked at me with a kind of wonder that made me feel alive. I haven't kissed someone like that in a long time, I admitted. Then I did,